Morning, guys. Um, while I'm sitting here, I figured I would go ahead and help you with this last one. Now, remember, when you log in, since this was technically due this morning at 9, the assignments won't show up until you hit pass. So you have to hit that button to get over there, and then you go over to the right. Now, I'm probably going to change the due dates on all the past assignments so they start showing up in the active. It feels good to see your scores as you're going, even if they're not like a perfect score. It still feels good to see what's done and to help you see what you still need to do, whether it's late or on time. So I'm going to pick this one, which is my last one for the week that I have not done yet. And you're going to watch me struggle through it a little bit because I haven't even thought about it. Okay, so here we go. Okay to practice? Ready? Yep, let's go. It says 4 to 6 minutes. Might take me longer. The amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere increases rapidly as we continue to rely on fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? Like gas and that kind of stuff, I think. The relationship between the elapsed time t in decades, okay, that's going to be important for me to notice that we're talking about time in decades, which means every 10 years. Since the CO2 levels were first measured and the total amount of CO2 in the atmosphere, okay, so this is the name of the function in parts per million is modeled by the following function. Okay, so there's the name of the function, a decade of t, and then there's the equation. Complete the following sentence about the yearly rate of change of the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. If these two rates were the same, this amount of time, this is 10 years, right? Let's see if I can write on my screen a little bit better. This is 10 years. It's supposed to be a 10. And this is 1 year. So that's going to change things a bit. And that's why this says something in the title about changing units, because we're going to have to change them so that they match up a little bit better. Um, so I zoomed in a little bit here. So let's think of it this way. If this question was about the same unit, if it said the rate of every 10 years, every 10 years, if it had said that, if this had said every 10 years, it would increase by a factor of 1.06 and we would be finished. But since it actually is asking for every 1 year instead of the given 10, I'm going to have to manipulate this a little bit. And the idea here is that this t in the exponent means this is happening one time, once, every, and then whatever unit they give you, every decade, right? So every 10 years. That's how often it's happening every 10 years. One time every 10 years, one time every decade. So when they ask about what would the rate be for every 1 year, down here, every 1 year, then really what we're dealing with here is 315 times 1.06 and then 1/10 of t. It's supposed to be a 10. And that's terrible, and I'm sorry. Does that make any sense? 1/10 of t. Because we're talking about t is 10 years. Well, I only want one of those 10 years. So 1 out of 10 t. So then what I can do is I can grab a calculator and get, okay, well, if that's what I'm dealing with, then I can put that 1/10 on the 1.06, 1.06, and raise it to the power of, and I'm going to use parentheses, 1 divided by 10, or you could use 0.1, which is the same idea. 1/10, and I get 1.0058, blah, blah, blah. So that's my new rate. If I just as a reminder, what I'm doing is I'm taking this 1.06 and I'm raising it to the 1/10 power, and that's going to tell me what happens every 1 out of 10 years. Okay? And then it says to round it to 4 decimal places. So I need 1 point and then 4 numbers. So 0, 0, 5. So 8 is the 4th number. And that 4 tells me I'm going to leave it since that's below 5. So 8. Let's see if we're right. Ka-chow! All right, let's try it again. See if we can get another one right. After certain medicine is ingested, the number of harmful bacteria declines. All right, so basically, the longer you have the medicine in your body, the amount of bad stuff in your body goes down. The relationship between the elapsed time t in minutes, okay, this is going to be important. Since the medicine is ingested and the number of harmful bacteria remaining in the body is this equation, okay, so h of every minute of t is, what is that? 500 million, I think. Yeah, wow. 0.2 t. Complete the following sentence about the rate of change in the number of harmful bacteria in the body in seconds. Okay, so this original question was about minutes, and now the new question is about seconds. So when we're dealing with this, what it's asking is, okay, so switch this from, oh, it moved where my erase is because that's around the wrong spot now. So this was about minutes, but now we're talking about seconds. Well, how many seconds are in 1 minute? How many seconds are in 1 minute? Okay, so we are talking about, oh, will it let me write on that? I don't know. So we're talking about here, this 500, I think million. I sound ridiculous. I can't read a number right now, but that's okay. 500 million times 0.2. Now, if I'm going to switch to minutes, how many seconds, or sorry, to seconds, how many seconds are in 1 minute? 60. So we're saying this new exponent is going to be 1 out of 60 seconds that are in a minute, right? 1 out of 60 seconds that are in a minute. So then I can grab the calculator here. I can use a calculator and I can type in 0.2 to the power of, parentheses, 1 divided by 60. And I think that should tell us the new rate. The decay, it decays by a factor of, all right, there we go. And they want us to round it to 2 decimal places this time. So I need a 0 point and then 2 numbers. 9, 7 is what I think it is, and let's double check. Yep, the next number, 3, would tell us to keep it, to keep that 7 right where it was. And we're good. All right, let's do it again. Medicine, petri dish, bacteria, t in seconds, equation. Now they want minutes. Okay, so last time when we were doing seconds and minutes, we started with minutes and we were trying to get down to something smaller. So we have to think of it this way now. So we got this 15 over 16. And now we're thinking how many minutes or how many seconds are in a minute? Well, there's 60, but this time we need 60 of this time in seconds to equal 1 minute. Okay? 60 of that time in seconds, 60 of these seconds to give me 1 minute, 60 of these seconds to give me 1 minute, okay, because this time was in seconds. So we grab the calculator, we do, okay, parentheses, 15 divided by 16, whoops, wrong button. And we raise it to the power of 60, and that gives us our new factor. So 0.0 2. How many decimals do they want? Just 2. So this 8, though, this next one, oh, I typed that in wrong. No, I didn't. 0.02. Oh, the next number is 0, so it stays. We're done. All right, last one. This dude is named Gottfried. That's kind of awesome. Wanted to see how contagious yawning can be. So he did a social experiment by yawning in front of a large random crowd and observing how many people yawn. That's making me yawn. Not kidding. The relationship between the elapsed time t in minutes since he yawned and the number of people in the crowd. All right, so t in minutes. We're starting with minutes. So every time we see a t right now, it means minutes. Now they're asking about hours. Okay, so what would happen in 1 hour, right? So when we do this, we're now thinking about, we got 5 times 1.03. How many hours are in every minute? Well, I mean, there's 60 minutes in an hour, right? True? Yeah. 60 minutes in 1 hour. And this is talking about minutes, right? So we need this to turn into 60 of these minutes. 60 of these minutes would help me figure out the hourly rate. So then I grab the calculator, 1.03 to the power of 60, and that'll be my new rate. And they want me to go to 2 decimal places. So 5.89. The next number is a 1, so I leave it. Ta-da! All right. So that was kind of easy for me-ish. It took me about 12 minutes to do and explain at the same time. Hopefully this was helpful. And you want to do a couple more examples just in case? Will it let me? Let's see. If I click on it again, will it let me do it? Nope. We just talked about the same ones we already did. So in these questions, remember, on this first one, we were going from a big number, decades, to a small number, 1 year. So our exponent that we had to do was a small fraction, 1 out of 10. Okay. This question, we were going from minutes to seconds. So a big number to a small answer. So again, it was a small fraction answer. It was 1 over 60 had to be our rate exponent change. This time we went from seconds to minutes. So we needed a lot of seconds to make 1 minute. So the exponent here was 60 instead of 1 over 60. This time we're going from minutes to hours. And there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. And since we're going from small to big, we needed a big exponent, so 60 was the exponent. Hopefully this helps. Let me know if you're stuck. Okay, miss you guys. Bye.